Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing about Relaxo footwear as well as Redtape. So two companies today will be doing together. So first thing first, we'll do Relaxo, right? So Relaxo sells chappals, like Hawaii chappals in terms of open footwear. In terms of closed footwear, unka ek brand hai that is called Sparks. But anyways, the price of the chappal ranges or the price of the product ranges from 400 to 1000 rupees, right? So that is what it is. So right, over the last year, we saw the stock being beaten down. This business, especially, went through a lot of problems because the demand in rural area was not that great, and people were downgrading due to increase in prices. So of course, these people felt the bent of it, and all the change in norms, whether it is a change in GST from 5 to 12% versus, let's say, the inflation of raw materials, and the inability to take a price hike, all really went against the business, right? So let's see what this quarter they have been doing. So overall, you can see right now that the top line, that things are getting better for the business, right? You can see that the top line has been improving. At least earlier we saw degrowth in top line and bottom line, but now the top line has grown at a single digit of 6.7% on a year on year, and the PAT has doubled on a year on year basis. Now one thing is here, I'm not taking QOQ because अगर आप QOQ देखोगे it will look better only, क्योंकि last quarter से इस quarter तक थोड़ा Q2 is a lean quarter, so that is the reason. But having said that, the reason right now you're seeing the PAT double, and you're seeing the PAT margin also has doubled, right? 3.2 से 6% हुआ है. So all of this reason is because one है कि उनका जो soft raw material का price है, that is falling, right? So due to this falling raw material prices, that is why the margin ka expansion or PAT ka expansion hua hai, not because of any other reasons. The other thing is, like, let's talk about the volume and value growth, which is the most important thing, like I keep reiterating, in the consumption space. Agar aap volume ko dekhte ho, Q2 of FY23, they sold 3.9 crores of pair, right? And now in this year, Q2 FY24, they sold 4.8 crores of pair. 3.9 say 4.8 crores. So that is a volume growth of 23%. Okay. Now you might be like, oh my God, everything is going good for the business. Top line bhi ho raha hai, PAT bhi double ho chuka hai. Or the most important thing, क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो value growth नहीं हो सकते, volume growth is improving. Here is a red flag to observe. One thing is, जो भी ये volume growth हुआ है, it is on the back of cutting back prices, which means what? Last time they took a price hike, price hike in all their products, but what happened, people preferred other people's product, which were lower in price. As a result, I think company lost around 20% of the market share. Now, to get this market share back and to drive the volume growth, what they did, they revised जो भी price hike किया था उसको, they revised it and got back to the previous prices. ठीक है? And that is the reason the volume growth has increased. Now, if a business is telling me that they are going to get their growth, they are going to get the volume growth on a back of price cut, it is a huge red flag. मतलब आप कब तक आप अपना price cut करोगे to drive the volume growth? Tomorrow again you're like one mistake away or one fire away, let's say, of all the inflation and everything, again to go back to where you were. So basically, whatever the improvement has you have seen, it is not a good sign also for them in a way. The another reason you can see here also, sorry, not another reason, but another thing you can see here also, जो average selling price होता है उनका, it has fallen from 169 to 147. Again, the same thing, because they have done a lot of क्या बोलते हैं, a lot of price cut. Now the company is telling they want to focus on this premiumization and everything, but आप क्या premiumization करोगे जब आप बोल रहे हो that you have to take a price cut just to survive in the market? Like, what kind of how can a business that is telling that they want to focus on premiumization do this? The other thing I would also tell is, like, see, abhi, why would I buy a 100 PE stock, like that has a single low single digit growth, like a mid single digit growth, with hardly volume growth coming at a price cut? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, all the situations are improving, it is there is a reason. Like, it is not all hunky dory here. Okay. So Relaxo, of course, as usual, nothing great to talk. The only thing is, like, H2 may you can expect a little bit double digit growth. Now who knows whether it is going to be low, mid, or high teen double digit growth with an EBIT of 14%, क्योंकि of course H2 में थोड़ा demand ज़्यादा ही होगा, compared to H1. That is always given. The other thing to note here is, what you have to see here in the next coming result is that the growth should be driven by volume, and the volume shouldn't come at the cost of price cut. I think that is the most important thing. So that's about Relaxo. Now let us look at Redtape. Redtape, I do not have anything much to tell because the company doesn't do a con call or doesn't have an investor presentation. So whatever data you have is either of the AR FY23 R, and I do not want to reiterate the data because jo bhi bolo, that is 6 months pehle ka thing, right? So right now you'll see like the revenue has grown at 6% on a year-on-year basis, and PAT jo tha, right? PAT fell down by 5.7%. Now we do not know, or I do not know, like what is the reason for this single-digit top-line growth. In terms, if I have to tell you, this has done well, way better in terms of Campus and Relaxo, of course, there is no doubt. But you do also realize, right? The reason why market punished, I would say that I think that first few days, the Redtape ka result more than Campus was Campus ka to expectation tahi they won't do a good result, because we've seen Campus being going down over a period of quarters. But Redtape, there was a certain hope, there was a certain expectation, because last quarter only they clocked in a growth of 35%, right? And until now, where Metro was a king in the footwear space, those people came and they took Metro's crown and put it on their head with the kind of numbers they did, right? So as a result, company, of course, the entire market had an expectation ki like ye to probably will do that 30% or 25% ka growth. But the fact they did 6% on a year-on-year basis, quarter on quarter, of course, I wouldn't compare because jo bhi bolo Q2 seasonal hai. I think that has been the has been the reason. Now this fall in top line could be anything, right? Because आप जो भी देखो consumption space में, even in footwear space, first of all Q2 is a lean quarter. Last time at least Q2 में थोड़ा सा festival था, like 1 or 2 festival, but this time the entire Q2 का festivities are shifted to Q3, right? Then there is of course delay in buying also from the consumer side. So there could be many reasons why this top line ka growth is hardly 6%. We do not know if this top line ka growth is 6% is like a 1 quarter of thing because of the current situations in the environment, like the business environment, or it is something to be prolonged until next quarter, or that is something to wait and watch. But I think a business like Redtape should do better in Q3. That is something to watch out for. Another thing is like PAT margins are still at 8.4%. I don't think even the gross margins have improved that much. A bit of shocker considering the margins should have improved in spite of the fall in raw material prices. Okay? So that is the only thing in terms of Redtape. If I have to look at their financials jo hai, another thing I would like to see is that borrowings have seen an uptick in the last 6 months. एक और है कि like उनका net cash flow from operation है, it is at negative 12 crore versus let's say 38 crore. And again, no reason, because like I told you, the management neither does con call or whatsoever. But you can see that the investments, अगर आप देखते हो, उनका plant property और equipment में has gone up like around 2.5x compared to last year same time. Now this could also be because Redtape is right now in an expansion phase. You are seeing them put up stores. There a lot of store expansion abhi ho raha hai Redtape mein. So maybe because of that too. But overall, yes, of course, the entire Redtape result is somewhere like neither, because you do not know what exactly is the reason for the single digit top line growth. It you can neither categorize it as disappointing nor as fairly good. So yeah, that's that about Redtape and Relaxo, and I hope to see you again next time, and until then, take care. Bye bye.